WCW Spring Stampede 1997.
April 6th, 1997.
I'm Spencer.
And we're in Tupelo.
Tupelo? Tupelo?
Mississippi. He is Spencer.
Yeah.
I'm JD.
And we are the heel turn.
Oh man, we're about as shaky as half of these matches.
Yeah.
We'll get to that shortly. This is the the Spring Stampede pay-per-view, kicking off a couple of storylines that we've been building up to, that we've been covering on a weekly basis.
Yep. Scott Hall is not currently here. As mentioned by Nash in a previous episode, he's taking care of things that are bigger than wrestling.
Rehab.
He's rehabbing it.
He's rehabbing it. But that doesn't stop us from having our first match of the night, which is Ultimate Dragon versus Rey Mysterio, is what I put. That's how you know you're just writing off like your shoulder. Rey Mysterio. Okay.
Rey Mysterio. We got some mat wrestling to start off with. Not a lot of high flying at the beginning.
Yeah, they have to feel each other out because that's what they
Motherfucker.
We'll keep going.
Ultimate Dragon controls most of this match.
Yeah.
He's got some big kicks and then some power moves, including he does a power bomb, picks him up Jericho style, but then tosses him over his head and do like a snake eyes on the ropes.
Yeah, he's like, my throat. And then he hits with his he does a spinning torture rack, like backdrop.
Yeah, I love
like,
that.
All right, sure, man. And then hits with obviously his Liger Bomb. There's a bunch of lions that come out of there and tigers when he lands on them. They just go and hop out.
Isn't the Liger from like Napoleon Dynamite? He says like a Liger is a mixture between a lion and a tiger.
I think it's from Thundercats.
Oh, okay.
Before that, but yeah, it is a mixture between a tiger and a lion when they fuck. So, because they cats and shit.
One weird thing is that Ultimate Dragon will not cover Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, for whatever reason. I guess they're trying to pitch him as a heel, but like, luchadors are really hard to be heels, aren't they?
Yeah, because everyone just wants to see the moves.
Hey, just do your flips.
If you do a cool move, you get cheered.
I don't care about your plot. Give me the shit. Give me the shit I came here to see. So yeah, he hits Ultimate Dragon hits a bridge sort of submission on Rey, which is like him bridging back and then grabbing him, which is pretty interesting. Trying to get him to nod along with it.
Yeah.
No, he's just controlling my head. And then of course. Towards the end of the match, we get a little bit of momentum with a monkey flip, is what they call it.
Yeah.
Onto Ultimate Dragon, and then Ultimate Dragon's like, "No, man, I ain't about that." Gets a little bit more momentum on his end with a couple of his larger moves, because really at this point, Rey's not doing really anything. I'm surprised he won. Oh, by the way, he won with a springboard roll up.
Springboard Hurricane Rana.
Okay, yeah, which is his traditional roll-up, which he literally did. He kicked out of it, he's like, and then they did a move to try and pin him, and then he kicked out of it. I mean, the mic favors.
For those that are only listening.
Yeah, so that
fucker.
This fucking thing. Don't fall, please.
Okay.
Oh, man. Anyway, we get a little bit of a...
Solutions, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
We even get a little interview from Lee Marshall, who's trying to interview Kevin Nash.
I didn't know he had a body. I thought he was just a voice.
Then he gets kicked out by Six. He slams the door on his face.
Oh, no.
And Six says something completely inaudible. I'm not sure if that was on purpose.
No one knew. Period. Because Six doesn't speak up because he's a bitch.
Oh, shit.
Anyway.
We finally get that interview, and the Steiners show up. They're a fit of rage. Nash is...
I could just smell them. Is that NWO?
Nash is okay. Something weird here. Nash is in his little locker room with no shirt on. Later on comes to the ring with like the thing. So he starts out with less clothes than he came. Usually it's the other way around.
It's interesting.
Usually they're like all decked out in a jacket or something, and then
they switch out. No,
what was Nash and Six doing in there that he has to have no shirt on?
He's just posing, looking at him naked.
Well, Nash wants Nick Patrick as his ref, and then he spits on Scott, and Scott goes crazy, and then gets maced. Because I think Scott accidentally hits somebody.
Man, that's some fucking bullshit. Anyway, he gets maced, and he's out of the match. If you guys are keeping track here, obviously Scott Hall couldn't be there for the match because he's an alcoholic. So then it was supposed to be really a handicap match at this point because he couldn't replace anybody. And then something happens, just stroke of luck, where what's his name has to get maced.
Yeah.
Oh, and he gets handcuffed. So, but we all know he's a genetic freak. He'd kick out of that shit.
He'd kick out of the handcuffs.
In a heartbeat. Yeah, he'd kick out of it. You aren't pinning me.
Next we get Madusa versus Akira Hokuto with Sunny. Starts out with some hair.
Sonny Ono.
Sonny Ono. Sonny and Cher. Yeah. We get some hair throws. You know it's a women's match because they're going to do hair throws.
Yep.
And then Medusa does a really cool slide out of a pin. Mm-hmm. And Akira bites her thigh.
She's got markings on her thighs, too.
Does she?
Yeah. Because I think she had lipstick. She had certain lipstick on.
Oh,
and it was also showing up there, too.
Yeah.
It's like, committed.
Hey,
that's that shoot style we like.
To quote Norm Macdonald, hey, Akira, quit stealing my moves. And then Sonny kind of interferes and starts beating up on Medusa while the refs turned and then sometimes not so turned.
It's like, oh shit, what the fuck? They do a sort of botched drop to a pin.
Yes.
It looks like, which I think Hokuto had Medusa up, right? Mm-hmm. Pretty strong for Alice Wilson.
Almost like a Samoan drop.
Yeah, and then like just brought her down instead in a really tacky way.
It'd be like a Samoan drop, and then you hear somebody go, nope! And then it just kind of fades away.
Exactly what happens here. As a result, they get an attempted pin, fails, and then Medusa gets enough momentum to go, you know what, I'm gonna... Was it powerbomb at that point?
She does a drop kick and then a German suplex with a bridge. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then that gets...
kicked out of.
Kicked out of.
Yeah.
And yes, then...
We'll go for a powerbomb.
Powerbomb.
That looked a little shaky as it was.
Was not going to be a good powerbomb.
Yeah, kind of like our intro. And what ends up happening is Luna Vachon comes in, who we haven't heard from in like 3 weeks.
At least.
Something like that. Like 2 pay-per-views.
Look at the archives to figure out when we last
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe on those, you know. And drops, or gets kicked in like the knee. Drops Hokuto. You would think it would hurt more, but Hokuto's like, fuck that. And she goes into this weird sort of like, eat my vagina freaking pose.
Yeah.
To pin.
And it keeps going.
And she brings her head up and she's like, rah! And then afterwards, Hokuto's the winner. Medusa plays it off in the worst possible way. Darn it!
Yeah, she's the plucky baby face.
I would have had it too. If Luna Vachon didn't know.
That gosh darn Luna didn't show up.
More like Luna bitch on, am I right? Next match.
Steven Regal versus Prince Iakea. Yeah. Or Iakeu.
I don't care if you feel me.
Regal's an awesome heel.
Yeah.
And he's constantly challenging the audience. At one point later on in the match, he even like puts his hands behind his back and puts his legs together and it's like, come on, go ahead. Just challenging people in the audience to a fight. But he starts out with some mat wrestling, and then does a little test of strength with Prince Iakea, who somehow beats him, even though Steven Regal's got to have at least 50 pounds on him.
That's all
maybe
pounds.
More. And then they have a pretty decent match. Wow, I just hit puberty. Did you hear that? Mm-hmm. They have a pretty good match.
What's happening?
Regal, being the veteran, he's able to dodge some of Prince's high-flying moves.
Yeah, makes fun of him while he's at it.
But Prince gets the pin, the roll-up pin. And then Regal beats up Prince, puts him in the Regal stretch, hits him with the title, keeps beating him up.
They literally transition to the next match as he's getting beat up. I don't know how they got out of the ring without him beating him up more. Like, as he's going up the ramp, boom, 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 still getting hit. Fucking whatever. Anyway, we get to our next segment. We got Mean Woo Gene. That hurts. And Ric Flair. Rick being Rick, we joked about it, but it's actually quite true. Look it up. It's on Wikipedia. WrestlePedia. I don't know if that's a thing. It might be. Ric Flair has a quota for how many woos he has to get in. He literally goes, and another thing, woo! We're going to get started with, woo! And then the lives of these people, woo! We're doing a tsunami relief effort, woo!
That reminds me of, what's the movie about the cops?
The other guys?
No. Oh, wow, I fucked up. I don't remember the name of the movie. Super Troopers.
Super Troopers.
And he's like trying to get meow in.
Oh,
like
yeah.
as much as possible. Here we go, meow. Do you know how fast you're going, meow? It's like that, but with woos.
Pretty much. I never saw Super Troopers, so...
Oh!
Anyway, he does a status update, Facebook post for the Four Horsemen. And he talks about how the North Carolina Panthers just released Kevin Green to wrestle. It wasn't because of that. They didn't go, you know what, follow your dreams and wrestle. They go, we have no more use for you here. Do whatever you want.
You suck.
Yeah, you suck. He's I gotta look it up, but I don't think he's a Super Bowl champ like our man Mongo.
He ain't no Mongo.
He ain't a Mongo. So I don't want to go. You hear me? But he will be ready to fight May 1st. And boy, is he pumped. Man, the level of woos in his voice. Whatever, that's it. Next match.
Well, he also challenges Bischoff to a match where Rick says, I'll tie my hands behind my back and my knees together.
Yeah, with no pencil or something like that.
Yeah. No bookers in this match. Just a brawl.
I want to fight you.
Public Enemy versus Jeff Jarrett and Mongo.
They...
Shaving? What did I say? What was I saying here?
I don't know what you put, man. Staging, maybe. They stage another table. They bring it in. Here, I'll carry us. So, Mongo and Rock in. It's slow as fucking hell. Right at the start, they keep doing this sort of like weird back and forth.
Yeah.
A little bit of pushing, and then like there's a couple scenes where they get an Irish whip going, and then Rock like grabs onto the rope, and then he's like, "It's all up here." Just like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah. When I think of technical wrestlers, I think of
Rock.
Rocco Rock.
Yeah, Rocco Rock. You know what this probably means? Probably where he shot himself in the head. I don't know if he actually died that way.
If you can't see my face right now, it is stunned silence.
Oh, man. I feel like we do role reversals.
Yeah.
We are definitely role reversals. Mongo hits his tackle, spear, whatever you want to call it, on Rock and Grunge. And then Mongo and Jeff Jarrett strut.
I like that.
It's a sign of solidarity.
Yeah, they're in it together now.
Too bad Mongo doesn't have a fucking bone in his body that knows either rhythm or which foot to start with. So he walks like a fucking...
And that's why we love him.
Idiot. I guess. And then there's a couple spots. You see this actually happen twice. Mongo is outside the ring at this point. Jeff Jarrett is getting picked up. It's sort of like a backdrop or something like that they're getting ready to do. But I guess he's bringing him forward for an atomic drop. And then, like, as he's bringing him forward, Mongo comes in the ring. And then, like, he looks, like, really hesitant. And I'm like, all right, are you doing something? Like, what are we doing here? And then it was really awkward. I think he just sort of pushed Jeff Jarrett into Mongo.
Yeah.
Rock or Grunge, whichever one. They all look alike. And then gets pushed into it, and you're just like, what the fuck ever, dude? Weird spot.
Yeah, he was just there to take a bump.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Yeah. And then what happens next is Jeff Jarrett gets a little ticked off by getting pushed into Mongo. They don't really elaborate too much onto it. I'm assuming he's mad because he just feels like maybe Mongo doesn't have his back.
Yeah.
And if we notice, based upon the storyline, Mongo is always the guy that's mad. Jeff is always the guy that's not. in the sense of like, come on, man, give me a chance. But now he looks like he's like, I'm getting sick of your shit, Mongo.
Sick of your shit.
Yeah, it's turning around, man. We'll see what happens.
But the match keeps going.
It goes.
Mongo hits a tilt-a-whirl slam.
Good for him.
Shaving. Whatever that note means. It's got to mean something. I wrote this in hieroglyphics. There's a. They have a split fight. Mongo and one of them. Mongo and Rock go to the town area.
Yeah.
The stage looks like a little town.
Yeah, it's like a western. Gets tossed into the carriage or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Grunge.
Oregon Trail. So.
Grunge has his table on the outside. He's fighting with Jeff Jarrett. But Grunge goes through the table because Jarrett dodges it.
Yeah, this is after attempted sexual assault.
Yes.
On Deborah. What the fuck? Of all the places, he's like, the time is now. What the fuck were you thinking, man?
There's no cameras here, right?
Yeah.
In this live broadcast pay-per-view.
So we get a little bit of a weird spot where the briefcase is made apparent that it's in the ring, just off to the side, up for grabs, really. Yeah. Deborah's got one job. Maybe she should have grabbed it. She was literally like, if it's over there, she's like this. Just do this. Grab it, and then do this.
I've done my part.
Yeah.
Briefcase, yeah. Jeff Jarrett gets tagged in. Rock picks up the briefcase, the Halliburton. Jeff Jarrett hits the figure 4 on Grunge, where Rock hits him with the briefcase. Mongo's got the ref distracted. And Scott... Oh, yeah. They win. Public Enemy. Good for them.
Yeah, 3 count. Mongo seems a little upset. Curses, I believe. You know, it is.
Yeah.
Maybe says racial slurs. He's known for that.
I hope he says one about the Asians, like he said before. Scott Steiner, it's announced, is unable to compete tonight.
Oh no! Then we get something beautiful.
This is the one that everyone's seen on the internet.
Yeah. Harlem Heat makes their way to Mean Gene and Man, they're upset. They're pumped up. First, Sister Sherry comes in, and you know, Sister Sherry used to be a wrestler. It's the sensational Sister Sherry. No, Sensational Sherry.
Yeah, Sensational Sherry.
I thought her last name was used, but either way. So she comes in, and you know, she's like, "Well, you know something, Mean Gene?" And you're like, "Oh God." She's getting in the stance. Not the best talker.
No.
And that's okay. We still like her. God rest her soul. And I think she killed herself too. No, drug overdose. So
kind of a downer.
I am the worst. Well, let's bring it back. Because we take what we want. And after the gold,
Hulk Hogan,
we coming for you, fella. Oh man, it's so funny. I've never seen the entire promo. To see him just have that level of cringe as he's going through. He's just like, well, first it's, and then it's.
Yeah, then it's.
And Sherry's got her arm on him, and she's like patting him, and he's just like, I fucked up. And then he's talking in the back, probably trying to relieve some excitement. Even as Stevie Ray's talking, he's just like, yeah, we're going to take it. We want it, brother. I want the belt too. So, yeah, funny shit.
It's amazing. If there's one thing to see from this pay-per-view, it's just really that promo.
It's really that.
And you probably have already seen it if you're watching this. But.
So you've seen the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
By association. We get to the next match here, which is supposed to be a just knockout, drag out, beat him up, fight him down. We got Chris Brown versus everyone's favorite divorcee, who didn't talk about Michelle this time. Dean Malenko. DM versus CB. Who's going to win?
Do a lot of early wrestling, and honestly, most of the matches that Benoit does counter holds instead of doing rope breaks. He chooses to put his own spin on a submission instead of trying to break it, which is interesting. Early on, Benoit cuts his hand bad. Yeah. I'm saying, like, I thought at one point he was holding on to, like, a piece of fabric.
Yeah.
I think that was his flesh.
Oh, like when he dropped it, like separated.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah.
Oh,
It kept bleeding.
his hands never stopped bleeding. Ooh. Oh my god. Benoit.
It's like this. He goes, like you're Dean. You're on the turnbuckle. He's looking at his flesh.
Yeah.
God.
Oh my god, he would not stop chopping.
With
The bloody hand, like what? Just, I don't care if it looks like shit, use the left hand.
Yeah, man, the red mark on it and everything. He just... it's like finger painting.
My god. Benoit's a fucking beast, though. Dean Malenko has an arm submission, like an armbar type thing. But Benoit lifts him, stands, then lifts Dean Malenko over his back, and then drops him behind him. In a freakish move that can only be done with steroids, but that was awesome. Benoit hits a reverse suplex that the announcers cannot describe. They take like 5 different ways of describing what that move is.
Oh.
Reverse back suplex. Reverse face first suplex.
Oh, face down, body down, belly down suplex. It's like, no, reverse backdrop. Or reverse what? Suplex.
Just say reverse suplex, who cares? Jacqueline runs in and attacks Woman. We haven't seen that feud in a little bit.
Oh, yay. That's all I want.
Benoit hits the headbutt, but Dean Malenko kicks out. Man, that boy's got a lot of heart.
Can I just say, I hate how Benoit didn't see the love of his life getting beaten. Their hair was going flying. Both of them, their hair was going flying. You just see them going like, ah! And he's like, better hit it. Let's get over here.
Yeah. Yeah, he totally missed the boat on that. Jimmy Hart... Okay, this is where it gets very complicated, so stay with me.
Yeah.
Jimmy Hart tries to steal the title. He grabs the U.S. title and runs. Eddie Guerrero pushes him back, makes him get back into that ring area. So Eddie Guerrero's in the ring now, or in the area now.
Let's point out, Eddie Guerrero's got a sling on.
Yeah.
On his left arm, and is more or less pointing, coming down to the ramp at Jimmy Hart.
Yeah.
Why is his arm messed up?
I don't remember him getting hurt.
Whatever.
Oh, okay. Arn Anderson attacks Dean Malenko from the outside. Then gets confronted by Kevin Sullivan, who then attacks Benoit with a really nasty hit to the back of the head.
Yeah. And really,
with like a kendo stick or something?
No, that was not a kendo stick.
Just a straight stick?
That was a straight stick. Yeah.
And gets disqualified. Dean Malenko, I guess, would be disqualified, but keeps his title.
Yeah, because it's a title match.
Dungeon of Doom. Oh, go ahead.
But they take the belt.
Right. Dungeon of Doom leave with the title and put it on Eddie, who doesn't seem to want it, but they keep pulling him out.
Whew, none of that shit makes any sense. None of it makes any sense. None of it makes any sense. None of it makes any sense.
This was wild.
It was stupid.
Yeah.
This might be my worst match.
Very overbooked. Are you sure?
We'll get there.
Nash versus Rick Steiner.
Speaking of worst matches.
This is where we disagree, I believe. Nash is going to work the ear. This is for the tag team championships, as confusing as that might be. He works the ear. Give me that ear. With some elbows in the corner. Nash hits a sidewalk slam. Even Ted DiBiase is joining in on this. He punches Rick. Rick has got the world in front of him, and he's going to get beaten down. It's really hard for him.
One thing that doesn't beat him down is powerbomb from good old Kev Nash.
Yeah.
Hits him with a pretty clean powerbomb, and
he kicks out.
And all of them are like, what the fuck? This is some bullshit.
Rick does a top rope bulldog.
First DT.
But you said reverse DT. I don't know what the hell that means. And then Nick Patrick does not count the 3. So we got more cheating going on.
Yeah.
Rick cannot catch a break here. Six even does a heel kick. Gets knocked out for it.
It's a shitty kick.
I think it's alright. I don't know what you mean by that.
Man, I used to do karate, man. That's why I think it's shitty. This guy's bending his knee and everything.
Six pulls the turnbuckle pad off. Eventually. Really struggles with it and actually gets Ted to help him do it. Six is a very.
He's actually using a tool too. He's just like, oh.
6 is absurdly weak. That's clear. Okay, so Nash then proceeds to do a snake eyes to Rick Steiner over and over again. After 2, DiBiase's saying that's enough. And then Nash does a third one, and DiBiase leaves. I think I got that in the right order. Then,
well, so he actually does visibly say, like, hey, that's enough, that's enough.
Yeah,
and then Kevin goes, I'll tell you when it's enough.
yeah.
Pretty loud, which if there's one thing that Kevin's good about is enunciating in the ring so you can see the roles play out. So that's good. Yeah.
And then, he does a fourth one and then hits the jackknife and then wins. And this is important, Nick Patrick does not really want to do the count because they're all like disgusted with Nash for really
for 6,
brutalizing him. Yeah, 6 is cool though. 6 is a cool guy.
6 is a bitch. So anyway, that shit happens, and then we get over to Mean Gene with Lex and Giant. Giant going full force, which sounds like Sid Vicious actually. I believe Sid Vicious actually says that. Full force, doesn't he? He has to.
Probably.
Sounds like a Sidium.
Sounds like a Sid promo.
Yeah.
Very quiet.
And then very loud all at the same time, because he's the master. And
it's him very quietly and threateningly saying Lex and him are friends.
Right, we eat together, we sleep together, we
fuck together,
we bathe together, we drink from the same bottle together, we take shits together in one toilet. Figure that out.
And Lex just very generically says that he's ready in a very long promo. I don't know, did you get anything from Lex's promo?
I actually ignored it. I just said, Lex, they ready. That's all I wrote. Anyway.
I mean, I'm glad we both wrote basically the same thing, because that's all he said with so many words.
There's nothing entertaining about what Lex talks about ever, really. So we get over to Harlem Heat versus Lex Luger and Giant. So this is a 4 corners match. Do you mind describing the rules?
Oh, you can make me do this.
Okay, so here are the rules. Essentially, it starts off innocent enough. It's a semi-tag match. I mean semi because you could tag any person in and they have to wrestle each other. And then whoever is the person that pins really anybody becomes the person that can take on Hulk Hogan. We're coming for you. So pretty much the way it works out is there's a lot of times where there are people on the same team that are tagged in and out. Let's try and go through this one as quickly as possible. There's a lot of shit.
Starts with Booker versus Lex. Booker tags...
Hold on! No, I'm kidding.
Booker tags Stevie. They do some teamwork. Giant gets tagged in and clears house. So at this point, it's Giant versus Stevie. Harlem Heat get in a little argument because of the beatdown. Stevie tags in Lex, meaning it's Lex versus Giant. Lex can't scoop slam the Giant. Gets a Giant just drops on him.
Mm. It was a crossbody, wasn't it?
No, he was trying to do a scoop slam. And then Giant just drops.
Goes ah.
And then it's a pin, but they tag in Harlem Heat. So now it's Booker versus Stevie.
Yeah.
Booker then tags in Lex. Now it's Lex versus Stevie. Stevie tags in Booker. This is all the match was. There's like a move and then they tag.
Yeah.
Stevie tags in Booker. Lex tags in Giant. So now it's Booker versus Giant. Tag to Stevie. Double team on Giant. Tag to Booker. Tag to Stevie.
It was a false tag to Stevie.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that's when they got pissed off and they were like, hey, you can't call that. And he's like, fuck it. So they're in. Anyway, so Giant tags in Lex.
Yes.
Okay.
Tag to Luger. So now it's Luger and Stevie. Tag to Booker. Sleeper hold. Tag back to Stevie. They do another sleeper hold. Oh my god, the second half of this match is boring. Lex fights through the sleeper. Stevie tags Booker. So now it's Booker versus Luger. Booker T hits the scissor kick. Tags Stevie. Tags Booker. Lex dodges the splash. Or is that the Harlem Hangover?
No.
Just
Harlem Hangover's a front flip.
Oh, okay, so just a
Double team
splash thing.
Yeah.
Booker T tags Stevie. Lex tags Giant. Giant beats him up, is ready for the win, but instead decides to tag back Luger. Luger wins with the torture rack on Stevie. The first half of this match was alright.
Worst match of the night.
And then it had to go on for another like 10 minutes.
This is my worst match. Then.
Mine too.
Yeah, this is fucking awful. Mainly because it was so hard for us to write. Anyway, fuck that shit. We get to the next match.
Well, and the stake on that one, right, is that the winner gets to fight Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. So, yeah, Giant's like, tag me to Lex. And it's very vocal. You can hear it all. And then he tags him in, and then he hits the torture rack. So he's like, I want you to fight him. Because I already fought him. And I think he lost, didn't he?
Yeah, a couple times.
Oh, I suck. You could do it, Lex. I believe.
I believe in you.
Yeah. And plus, they weren't going to let Booker T have a main event.
It's too, dark.
Right, we don't like the contrast.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan's got to be the darkest guy in the ring.
Yeah, right. So yeah, we get to Marchman and DDP. I said that out of order. And this is the main event.
Yes.
The build-up for this is actually pretty good. Leading from last pay-per-view, actually. Going into this one. Macho Man gets on the mic after DDP comes in because they come to the ring with their significant others, I guess, if you want to call it that, because Elizabeth is my girl. So Elizabeth comes in with Macho Man, and he says some dumb shit.
It's your last day on planet Earth.
No, before that, he's like, oh, sick about party. How about Slim Jims for all? And he's like, where's the dang ring at? And then they finally make their way to the ring. And then DP does a quick promo with Mean Gene. I didn't even write it down, but him and his wife are pretty much talking about how they're going to fuck them up. And that's cool. So then they make their way to the ring. DP books it there after banging once he hits his... He's on cue. I like that. I like it when it actually connects. And Macho is just like, fuck out of the ring. And then he's like, it's your last day on Earth. If you come out of the ring, I'm not getting in there. Or whatever. He's being a bitch.
Yeah.
And then they start actually brawling outside the ring where Marchman kicks a kid in the face.
Yes. On accident.
On accident.
Let's not accuse him.
Or maybe not.
Yeah. He had the wherewithal to fuck that guy.
He pretty much scorpions and kicks the kid with his heel, and it's so funny. I wish I could take a just screenshot of that point. Kids like that, his hat is folded in, and there's the boot, and he's just like, ah! So he got took, and then there's sort of a, God, there was a weird drop. Oh, that's right. They come up, and it looks like he's doing a reverse, what's it called? Reverse suplex, and I guess they sort of turn it, and then Macho lands on his feet, but not really. And then, who was hurt? I don't know. It was a dumb spot.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, they battle on the outside again. There's a trash can. And there's stuff in that trash can.
Liquids.
Liquid stuff in that trash can. There's some choking on a cable. And then Macho holds Kim like in a defensive position. And then Liz attacks.
No, you never want to draw her as an offensive.
Yeah.
Keep her in defense.
Liz attacks DDP from behind, and then Macho beats him up. Savage gets a chair in the most aggressive way possible, and hits DDP with it.
Well, tell me who we got it from.
Michael Buffer?
Yeah.
Get off this.
He's like, what the fuck, man?
I'm trying to announce the match and then get a free show.
Yeah. I'm sitting here.
Slaps guy and takes chair.
So he gets the chair, right?
Yeah.
And then he hits it on DDP, and then
it goes back out.
The ref actually takes the chair from him. And it's like, no, I don't really like that. You know, there's a little bit of bias going on here, right? And Macho's like, you'll get yours. He goes back out, and then, yeah.
gets another chair from the announcer, and then, but DDP this time throws the chair in his face and then punches it. So Macho's like, ow. They brawl a little bit. Then Savage goes and gets the ring bell, but Kim takes it. Whatever. Savage don't need that shit.
It was rubber anyway. It looked really shitty.
Savage tries to do a elbow drop off the ring, or off the turnbuckle, but DDP gets his legs up and then tries to go for a diamond cutter but fails that. Macho then slaps the ref and pile drives him. And then whips him with his belt. Takes off the ref's belt and whips him with it.
After he rips open his shirt. Have some respect.
Have some respect, Macho. Macho hits DDP with the elbow. Nick Patrick enters. And with Nash smiling on the...
Yeah, I'm so proud of your son.
But DDP hits the diamond cutter. And Nick Patrick actually counts to 3.
He did go to school.
NWO enters.
Pissed
Nash powerbombs Patrick after checking on Macho. And Bischoff has to stop Savage from hurting Kimberly.
Yeah.
And then Savage fights Bischoff. Looks like the NWO is all in array. Oh boy.
Oh boy. What's gonna happen next?
Things aren't looking good for our NWO friends.
Our NWOites.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And that was the pay-per-view.
What's your match of the year? What's your match of the night?
I'm gonna give match of the night to Savage and DDP.
No, that one actually is pretty solid.
There's some drama there. I mean, it's no technical masterpiece, but story was there and
yeah,
things happen.
I think the story worked out well enough and is much better than this dumb shit with Harlem Heat and Lex and Giant.
Four corners matches in general just don't make any sense.
They're fucking stupid, and we should never do them again. How about that? And then, worst match is definitely that one.
Yeah.
As far as a rating, what would you give it out of 10?
Wow, I didn't.
How many turnbuckles out of 10?
Yikes. I'm gonna give it. It's gonna be a 4 or 5.
I was gonna say 6. The only thing that saves this.
Let's say 5.
Okay. There's only very few things that save this pay-per-view. The Ultimate Dragon and Rey Mysterio match could have been better, considering both of them.
Wasn't bad though.
Ray just gets beat the entire time, if we're being honest.
The problem with the Rey Mysterio match for me was that there wasn't enough like back and forth.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, you didn't get beat. I like it when they do like a bunch of reversals. There was like none of that.
There's none of that. Well, I don't. Ultimate Dragon is the most luchador. He does a few high flyers, but he's no La Parka. He's no fun La Parka. Yeah, strut La Parka, man.
La Parka dances like my grandma.
Who dances like Jeff Jarrett.
Dances, yeah.
Jeez. The Hokuto Medusa match was tolerable.
Yeah.
Steven Regal and IK, I don't really care about that. Public Enemy, you guys know I hate them. And the Chris Benoit and Dean Malenko match was a letdown.
Yeah, I was expecting more, and the finish was like, what?
You're just like, what the fuck ever. No one cares about Dungeon of Doom. He's just fighting to stay relevant at this point. He's booking to stay relevant. So at the end of the day, the only real matches that saved it was not even a match. It was a promo. We want the gold. So was that promo tied with the last match?
Yeah.
And that's saying something for me to give it a 6, because the match tied with the story pretty well. I don't really care about the Rick Steiner and Kevin Nash match, whatever. I get that it brings relevancy.
And it makes the end make sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But I give it a 6.
Yeah, I give it a 6. I would give it 5, and the only thing that saves it is story. Because the story was pretty good for most of the matches throughout.
Yeah.
So the matches themselves, except for the end one. The last one was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 5, I give it a 5, you give it a 6. It's a 5.5 average.
Yeah.
It's alright, it's above average.
Still shit.
I'm Spencer.
I'm JD.
And this is The Heel
Heel
Turn.
Turn.
Thanks for watching.